You are going to level up your acting career in the next 3 months, and I'm going to tell you how. If you do not have a job this summer, if you're not booked, let's make the best of our unemployed era, because this is the perfect time to start implementing and building the habits so that way when we have the job that we want, we are prepared and ready for anything. Your actor glow up era starts right now. Hi, my name is Camille. I am a professional musical theater actor. I just graduated with my BFA in musical theater a year ago, and I just finished my first national tour like 2 days ago. I am planning on moving to New York in about 2 months, but now that I'm unemployed and I've got this kind of weird in-between era, this summer is the perfect time for me and the perfect time for you to start building our habits so that way we can reach our goals and our dreams and our greatest potential. Whether you're not booked this summer, you're in a weird in-between era, you're in between contracts, you just graduated college, this is the perfect time to level up and start building these goals. I love documenting my journey and sharing all the things that I learned along the way with y'all, and this is gonna be our 3-month plan to level up in our career. Let's get into it. First things first, we need to start with our mindset. We need to identify where we are currently at and where we want to go, so that way we can make a plan and goals for ourselves that are realistic and that we can actually stick to. First, we need to start with a little self-reflecting. We need to get specific with what our dreams are. We need to identify where we're currently at and how we want to get from point A to point B. Journal about that a little bit. I love journaling. It is a really great habit. Journaling is a crucial thing in getting clear in where you're at and where you want to go. Research also says that if you write down your goal, you're like almost 2 times as likely to achieve your goals than if you just make the goal and don't write it down. So here are some ideas for some journaling prompts that you can start with. Number 1 is, what is your dream? And be really specific with it. If your dream is Broadway, don't just be like Broadway, get really specific with that. What does your life look like outside of work if you have your dream job? The next thing is going to be talking about where you're at now. Where are you right now? What are the immediate next steps that you can take? We don't want to only journal negative things and just be like, ugh, I'm not good at this and I'm behind in this and I'm not this. Also identify at least 3 to 5 things that you are doing really great right now. And then also identify things that you need to improve in. Another journaling prompt that is really great to think about is, if you were given your dream job today, if you got that contract, if you got that call right now, would you be ready for it? Would you be prepared to do 8 shows a week? Would your body be ready? Would your voice be ready? Would your mind be ready? And lastly, journal about what a day in the life looks like for you in like 5 years from now when you are living your dream life. You have your dream job. If you're on Broadway and that's your dream and that's where you want to be, journal, what does your day look like? To make our dreams a reality, we don't want it to just be some like wishy-washy hypothetical that we can't even picture. We need to get really specific with what we're picturing. Now that we have a really clear idea and picture of where we're currently at and where we want to go, now we get to build the daily habits of our life that will get us there. Creating a structure, creating a routine, that is how we are going to get to where we need to get to in order to do our dream job the best that we can in order to be ready for it. Daily habits are the building block of it all. Building your day well, especially for a job where you are creating your own schedule for the most part, especially when it comes to going to auditions and when you're in between gigs, you have to be able to structure your days well. My daily habits that I love is reading my Bible every day, praying every day, journaling every day. Journaling is so great because as actors and singers and performers, having our mind be really free and getting our emotions like really in line is super important. Especially being in between contracts, we want to build the habits that we want to have when we are in a show now, when we're not in a show. So that way when we start rehearsals and we start the show and we're really busy, we don't have to think about building habits and adding things in. They're already built into our routine, and then we're just adding rehearsal on top of that. And a big one for this is bedtime and amount of sleep that you're getting. It's so great to figure out how much sleep do you need and are you getting it? In high school, I would get like 6 hours of sleep a night and I thought I was fine and I was proud that I could function on low sleep. Now, absolutely not. Exact opposite. I learned that I need about 9 to 10 hours of sleep a night, especially when you are an athlete. You're burning so many calories and your voice also needs time to recover during sleep. As a singer, as an athlete, I think you need a little more sleep than the average person. Sleep is so important. Really listen to your body and figure out how much sleep you naturally need and not just how much you can get by on. And you cannot compare yourself to all these influencers online that are like, my 5 a.m. morning routine, like how waking up at 5 a.m. changes my whole life. We cannot do that because, I'm sorry, shows, theater, that happens at night. You're lucky if you get home by 11:30 p.m. And you're lucky if you go to bed at midnight. We're not working that 9 to 5 life. We are working late at night. So for my ideal sleep schedule is sleeping from midnight to about 10 a.m. Other daily habits to think about: water. drinking enough water every single day. If you're the kind of person who it's tech week, you have a show or you have an audition and you are drinking so much more water than normal, no, we gotta bring that up. We gotta bring the daily water intake up so that way your water intake is the same every single day. We don't need our habits to be drastically different when we're performing or not, or auditioning or not, because we always need to be prepared to do that. And finally, practicing. How often do you practice a day, a week for singing, for dancing, for acting? How much are you working on materials? And especially if you are in between contracts, and especially during the summer when it's not audition season, you got a little more downtime, it is the perfect time to work on new material and really beef that up and get it really strong. Other things that are so important, because actors are athletes, dancers are athletes, singers are athletes. As a singer, if you want to be able to hold a note forever, like you have to have great stamina. If you're doing musical theater, you got to sing and dance at the same time. That is hard. So you have to fuel your body well every day. And that means eating 3 meals a day, not just eating a bunch of sugar and not just eating a bunch of processed foods, eating like whole foods that are good for you and healthy, making sure we're eating enough, also not filling ourselves with crap. If you're in between shows and stuff and you've got more time, really figure out what meals are good for you, what your body thrives on to be able to sing and dance at your best, and learn how to cook, learning how to meal prep. That way when you get into really busy seasons of your life, you don't have to worry about running on things that don't fuel you very well. You can learn how to prepare. Now, this also includes going to the gym and building your strength and stamina. You can't just be like, good enough, I went to dance class. That is great, and you should be going to dance class, but also you gotta cross train. Going to the gym in addition to dance class is so great. You're building the strength that you need. It's really important to train with weights as a dancer because when you land from a jump, like that is more force than your body weight. So it's so important to be really strong. And that also includes not going to the gym and just doing like the cute little dancer workout, doing things that are different than what you're doing in dance class, because that is important to prevent injuries. And we do not want to get injured over here. We don't want to. And if you have no idea what you're doing, go to a workout class. If you are in a show and you're watching this, cross-training is really important because if you are doing the same exact show every single day for weeks, you're doing the same choreography, your body's gonna get imbalanced. Like if you're kicking more on the right side, then your left side of your body's gonna get imbalanced or you're gonna get tight or something like that. It's really important to build a routine of going to the gym and cross-training before you're in a show too, so that way when you're in one, you have a solid routine already built, and that way you will be less likely to injure yourself. I got a piano, a keyboard, like 2 years ago. Hey, it's behind me. Hey. I think it's super crucial for every singer to be able to plunk out their part on the piano. So that way, if there is no plunk track given to you, or if there is no OBC cast recording, like what if you're auditioning for an original work and all you have is a sheet music and you need to learn how to learn that music without being able to listen to someone else singing it. And also making sure that you've got your music theory basics down. You don't need to know anything crazy now. You just need to know everything that affects you as the singer on the page. Knowing a little bit about the piano, looking at what the piano is doing, also informs you as a singer, and also when you're cutting your music will help you knowing if that will flow together or if it will clash. My water. Get in class. Get in class. I know it's obvious, but I know some of y'all are a little scared to go to that voice lesson, or you're a little scared to go to that dance class, and it's okay to be scared, but do it scared. Go to voice lessons, take an extra voice lesson if you can, like once a month. I think it's so important to build your skills. And when you're not working on a show, that is the perfect time to challenge yourself and work on building parts of your range and working on music that you're maybe not used to working on. Go to lots of dance classes, go to styles that challenge you. Thesis of this whole video is you've got to challenge yourself. This is the time to challenge yourself and do things that make you a little uncomfortable or a little scared. When you do things that are uncomfortable or scary, that is when you will grow. I think that it's important to always try to budget a little bit of money towards training, even if it's not like taking a dance class every single week or taking a voice lesson every week. Something's better than nothing, because I think getting into the classes and private voice is very important to growing. But here are some things that you can do outside of doing those classes. You don't have to sing to work on your voice. There is so much that you can do reading your music and visualizing, imagining what you're going to do and thinking about the technique, writing on your sheet music what you need to do when it comes to certain notes and certain parts of the song, highlighting markings in the music of the dynamics and things that the music is telling you to do. For dancing, there are so many free ways that you can grow confidence in your dancing and become better at dancing. Number one is dancing in front of a mirror, turning on music that you really love, and freestyling, improving, and figuring out what looks good and what looks awkward, and figuring out how to make the awkward things look a little better, and just figuring out style independently on your own. The other thing is recording yourself dancing. That is really important. Then you yourself can look and judge yourself and be your own teacher. Same thing with singing, of recording yourself. So beneficial. Speaking of recording yourself singing and dancing, post videos of yourself. Social media is such a great tool that we can use as actors, and I'm planning on making an entire video about that, on how to use social media as an actor and the best ways to do it, because I have had several viral videos of myself singing or dancing. And even if your video doesn't go viral, like, that's not the goal. The goal is to put yourself out there, sharing where you are currently right now, and celebrate it. And it doesn't have to be perfect to do that. If that is something that sounds absolutely terrifying to you, because it used to be for me as well. Once I got past the hurdle of posting the first one, it got way easier. And now I just kind of post myself singing and dancing all the time. And it's just like, who cares? Because I love myself and my talent and the work that I'm doing. And if other people don't, that is okay. And I don't care. And that comment's getting deleted. This moves me on to my next point, which is building your confidence and shifting your mindset. Working on yourself as a person and really like building your emotional intelligence of your career so much, especially for singing. Singing really comes from your heart. It feels super personal. If you are not confident, that will automatically make you tense and therefore not sing as well as if you were confident and love your voice. Growing as a person will in turn help you to grow as an artist, because you need to build the version of yourself that can handle success and rejection. This industry is all about rejection, and you have to learn to not tie your identity up in this industry and in the jobs that you get and don't get. When you book the jobs that you want and when you book your dream job, whenever that job eventually inevitably ends, then you're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, now I'm nothing without that job because I wrap my identity up in getting this job. Or you get rejected from something that you were really close to, or you don't even get a call back. If your identity is wrapped up in that, then you're gonna be devastated and you're gonna be really disappointed and you're gonna quit the industry, because it happens all the time. So you have to get your identity wrapped in something outside of theater. My identity is in Jesus, and only He can tell me who I am and what I can do. And once I accepted and learned that and really learned how to love myself, believe me, it got so much easier. And now I am not like having an identity crisis that I don't have a job post this tour. Relieved and so excited to relax. And I know that that's not the end of the world, and that I'm gonna get another contract and that it's gonna be great, but also that it doesn't define me. That's my little spiel on that. Ways you can do this and get better at this are journaling, reading your Bible, praying, saying affirmations, writing down affirmations of who you are and who you wanna be, but like in the present term. Once you find joy and creativity and not stress, you will grow so much more, because creativity and artistry and stress and perfectionism like don't mix super well. They clash. You will do so much better in the audition room when you have joy in singing and dancing and acting again. Remember like the first time you got on stage, like maybe you were really little, like how free you were and how much you just didn't care what people thought? That is where we need to get back to. Playing and having fun, learning to truly love yourself, your voice, your talent, your body, everything like that will grow your career by miles, okay? Help it so much. The next thing that we need to do is just revamp all of our actor material. Figuring out what your brand is, how you want to market yourself. And I don't even mean in terms of like type. I don't love type. I feel like I can do anything and everything, but also I know what my strengths are. I know what I would be really good in. And I know who I am as a person and how I want to market myself as an actor. And that's another really good journaling prompt that you can do. What is my brand as an actor? How do I want to market myself? What roles do I want right now? And what can I play right now? Then ask yourself if all of your material reflects that and it reflects the roles that you want to play. And if it doesn't, maybe change that. Figuring out ways to make that consistent across my reels, my website, my resume, my headshots, and you can put that into all of these things. So number one is revamp your resume. Number two, you could get new headshots if you need them. Third, revamp your website, change the colors, change the font, update what you're currently doing. Or if you've never created a website before, this is a great time to create a website. I think having a website is really important. Just one place where everyone can go and see who is Camille as an artist and what does she do and does she do it well? Next thing is creating reels or updating your reels. Reels are also a really important thing when it comes to casting. A lot of places will ask for your reels. It's also really great to have something ready to go to send off to theaters. So that way next year during the audition season, when you're really busy, you can submit to way more projects because you have really good reels and you can just get in their emails and be like, hi, I would be really great for this role and here's my reel. I have gotten callbacks like that. I think having a dance reel is really important. A lot of the times they'll ask for that, or having a vocal reel is really good too. Really revamp, refresh your Actors Access profile or Backstage or whatever casting websites you use. Now relating to that, investing in those Actors Access videos is like, ooh, scary to click that button and make that purchase, okay? Because it's a lot of money. But if you can take this time, take this summer, I am personally 100% doing this, to record some 32-part cuts that you were really strong in. If you remember from this past audition season, like what shows was every single theater doing? If you're good for that show and you're right for that show, what part are you right for? And can you record a song from that show so that way next year when the theaters inevitably do the same shows again, have it already ready to go and you can send it off. If you can film a bunch of 32-part cuts, even just like 1 or 2 is great. Have videos that are current for your website and for your Actors Access. Also making that investment on your Actors Access for adding like 1 or 2 videos on there will feel a little more worth it. Speaking of sending emails, if you really know what your brand is and you have good reels and you have a good website and you feel it's a time in your career where you are ready to have an agent, and getting like a really good pitch of yourself ready and sending those, and having good reels and a good website and a good Actors Access profile are all really critical in getting an agent. So that is a great thing that you can do. The next thing that we are going to do over these next 3 months is stay audition ready. If you see an open call and that's something that you normally don't have time, but it's a show that you'd be good for, take the time and submit to the open call that you might not normally submit to. You can prep and organize your audition binder, your rep book, none of the pages are falling out, and that the cuts are really clear and clean, and also making sure that all of the material in there aligns with you and that you know all of them very, very well. Now let's talk about survival jobs. So obviously we can't just be sitting around here willy-nilly. Like, we're unemployed as actors in our career, but we can't just be bringing in no income. Especially if you're in college and you're home for the summer, it's a great time to get a job where you can make a lot of money and focus on saving. Because when you're moving to New York or when you're living in New York, it's not necessarily easy to live on. So it's important to have savings. Use this time to try to get some financial stability. Also work on trying to find multiple streams of income and jobs that don't drain you and that you enjoy doing. You don't have to love it, but just finding streams of income that you can take with you when you do go on contracts. Don't hate, support you as an artist, and don't drain you from your creativity or make you so tired that you don't have time for anything else, or make you lose your voice because you have to talk so loud and heavily. That's why personally I won't work in a restaurant again, because I just found that it was too draining and it was also fatiguing on my voice because it was so loud. I do social media and I make money from social media passively, and I continued doing that while I was on tour. And last summer I started a choreography business, choreographing pre-screens, and I am doing that again this summer, and that's another little way that I am making money. And I love doing both of those things, and those are both things that are self-employed. I can continue doing them on the contract if I want to and I have the time and like mental space. I think it's really great to find some flexible jobs like that. And this is the time that you can start building on that. I absolutely love setting goals and working really hard and being productive. But you also have to work on creating a life outside of musical theater that you love, so that way it is worth it and you don't get burnt out. Have fun, try some new hobbies just for fun. Go see your friends and hang out with them. It's also important to take a step back. Rest is really, really important. If this is a time where you need to rest or you need to heal from an injury like me, go see shows. Go to a regional theater or a community theater and have fun and go see a show with a friend. Remember why you love theater. It is so important to live a balanced life, and that is how we will truly reach our goals and our greatest potential and become the best artists that we can be, is by having a full-rounded life. You do not need to have a contract to still be a working actor. There are so many things that you can do to be productive for your career, even if you're not currently in a show, like all the things that we just talked about. These next 3 months can absolutely change your career if you let them and you are really intentional. This is how we're all going to be amazing musical theater it girls. Comment down below your goals for the next 3 months and put them in writing, because remember, the goals that you write down, you're way more likely to achieve. And if you want to watch a week in my life from when I was on tour, go watch that right now. I'll see you in that video. Like and subscribe if you're a real one. If you like these videos, I'm going to be making so many this summer. That is how I am going to be leveling up my career and my side streams of income and things that I also love to do outside of theater. Is going to be working and investing super hard on this YouTube channel and trying to put out a video once a week. You've got this. Your musical theater it girl era is just getting started. Bye, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Oh my gosh. Bye.